Welcome to Mike Brown Barbecue. Today we're going to do Texas style ham steak on this 250 gallon offset smoker. Alright guys, so let's get our fire started for this cook. As usual, we'll go with a chimney full of charcoal. It can be lump charcoal, it can be regular charcoal, it can be any charcoal you want it to be. It really don't matter. All you're doing is starting a fire for the coal bed. And then I'm going to go on with a normal amount of wood, just split up in smaller pieces so it burns down quicker. So just like that, we got us a coal bed going, folks. Let's go season up our meat. Stay tuned. What we got right here is something I found going through my local HEB here a while back, and I vacuum sealed it and froze it. But this is uncured ham steak. Look at that pretty piece of meat. It's got the skin on it, and I'm excited to cook this. So what we're doing in this video today is a Texas style ham steak. We're gonna get this seasoned up with our black pepper. Pat it in real good. Then we're going to hit it with Bondler's Fiesta seasonal salt. Then I want to hit the sides of this with seasonal salt also, because this is skin on here, and the salt that's in this seasonal salt will help dry that skin out while it's smoking. And I was unsure how I was going to cook this, because honestly I've never done one before. Now I know how I want to cook it after sitting back and thinking about it. When I first initially bought this, I was unsure how I was going to go about this. Disclaimer, I have not watched no YouTube videos. I'm winging this right up from Jump Street. Pat that in right there. And the way we're going to do this today, I'm going to cook it like I cook my pork steaks. When it gets close to done and starts probing tender, I'm going to move it over to my firebox side, and I'm going to crisp the skin on the outside with some direct heat. That's what we're going to do with this today. It's a ham steak, uncured ham steak. I'm going to take you guys along the ride for it. So our coal bed is about burnt down. We'll get this thrown on the pit. Stay tuned. All right, folks, the time has come to put our ham steak on. The coal bed is about burnt down. We want to get this dude put on there. You can see that's what that's looking like. Now what I've noticed is I've got a big band of fat and skin right here, so I'm going to put this in right here toward the fire. Right back there in that corner, because I got more heat in that corner back there to help render that out. Get that skin dried out. So we've got that put on. Coal bed's burnt down. Let's close this down, and I'll show y'all what kind of wood we're going to use for this cook. Stay tuned. Alright folks, so that coal bed is burnt down. It's time to smash her on down. Gonna move it up. To the front right here. We're gonna throw our wood on. What I got right here is dense red oak that's barky. That's what I like to start my long cooks out with. Another piece just like it. I'm gonna go with one more just like that one up top. Just like that. And then what I'm going on with next, something a little bit different than what I normally use. A dense piece of pecan. I'm gonna put that dude right there. You can see my coal bed's red hot. That pecan, I can already smell it burning. Pecan's gonna give you a nice flavor on your meat, but don't let the smell of pecan fool you. People that use straight up pecan, I've done it before myself. You can get carried away with it, with the smell. Same thing for hickory. It starts smelling so good, but then what you don't realize is you're over there over smoking your meat, and it don't taste pleasant. So I like to mix it with red oak. The mixture between red oak and pecan is a flavor profile that's like no other. So that's taken off. I like what I'm seeing there. I'm going to shut this firebox door down to about 1 inch open, and I will keep an eye on it. If something drastic changes in this fire management or temperature, I'll bring you guys in for that. I should get me about 2 hours of burn time out of that, if not more. So next time you guys see me, or we check these ham steaks, or when I manage this fire, stay tuned. Folks, so I've dropped off my target temp 275, and I got a feeling it's time to tighten this fire up. As you can see, the inside of these logs are burnt down pretty good. It's time to come in here with our trusty shovel, move things over just a little bit. We'll roll this guy back up on here a little bit more, our piece of pecan. We'll tighten everything up just like that. Now sometimes in the variables of firewood, I've got this log back here that's almost 2 foot long. What I'll do is I'll take them and I'll turn them a little sideways a little bit, where they'll sit down in there a little bit flatter. But that's taken right off. That's going to get our heat back up. I'm going to close this down to 1 inch and let it do its thing. We're an hour in on this smoke right here. So an hour in, our logs are not burned up that bad. We're running real efficient, low and slow fire. We can get another hour, hour and a half out of this. That'll be good. So I'll bring you guys back either when we check this ham steak or we manage this fire, whichever comes first. Stay tuned, guys. So we're right at the 2-hour mark. My temp has started to drop a little bit. Got a feeling these logs are pretty well burnt down. So let's smash this up into our new coal bed. That one's still got a little bit of life left in it. Anytime I get these little pieces right here that don't quite burn up, I put them in the middle. Alright, so let's go on with our next logs. Just some dense, barky red oak. I still want to put some good smoke on this. We're only 2 hours into the cook. So I'm going to put one right there. Put one right here. And I'm going to put this one right there. If anybody's wondering, I do not have arm hairs left. They're singed off. And then again, I'm going to go with my dense piece of pecan wood right there on the front. So here in about an hour, we'll check our ham steak and see where they're at. This is taking off. I'm going to go ahead and get it closed down to about 1 inch and let it do its thing. We'll see how much burn time we get out of this setup. I would imagine it's going to be about the same. Alright folks, the time has come to check up on our ham steak. Matt, it's It's looking beautiful. I want to check the internal temp on it though. See how far we are from being done. So we're at 138, 151, at 140. This is a real lean piece of meat. I've been thinking about it. So I don't want to overdo this. What I think I'm fixing to go ahead and do is get my fire wild and sear this thing off real good and crisp up the skin. Let me get that set up and I'll bring you guys right back. Alright guys, we're back. And as you can see, I've got my fire wild. Now we're going to move this on over here. Start crisping them edges up. Listen to that sizzle. Pork, this ham steak has kind of bowed up on me a little bit. It's that bone pulling out right there in the middle. So it may not be too pretty by the time we get done with it. Starting to get a good sear on the underside of it. Starting to crackling up a little bit. Tell you what, this was a very, very pretty piece of meat. The skin is not quite crisping up like I thought it would. Maybe I should have put regular salt on that. And the edges of it are crackling up a little bit. But I'm going to keep working on that and see if I can get it to crackle up for us. Alright folks, we're back. Camera got hot. Alright folks, I'm going to call that good. Looks like we got some crackling on it, not as much as I want to, but I don't want to overcook this. So I'm going to let this rest for about 30 minutes, then I'll bring you guys back and we'll slice it up. Stay. Alright folks, so we've let this rest for about 35 minutes. And you can hear that. Our crackling is somewhat good and crisp up. Just look at how beautiful this Texas style reverse seared ham steak is. Man, that is going to be delicious. So let's slice this off a few pieces here. Get this crackling. Here it's getting through that crackling. Tough to slice through it. Crackling. And look at that, folks. Lean pork, juicy as all get out. Let's try this. Alright folks, it's time to give this a try. Here's that end piece right here with the meat, the fat, and the crackling on it. Let's see how we did. Man, I think that's the best thing I've ate all year. That is freaking delicious. Look, crackling. It's nice and crispy on the outside. That's freaking delicious. Nice and crispy. It could have been a little bit more crispy. The skin is just a tad bit tough, but it's still very good. So let's try this piece right here out of the middle that we cut off right here. And hoping I cooked this right, but I cooked it to a medium. And we're going to take a bite right here off the end of it. Man, this is a huge success, guys. That is tender. Nice and tender. It tastes like a lean pork chop, but way juicier than a lean pork chop. That crackling on the outside of this, that's what makes it. I'm going to eat this whole thing for myself, someone don't take it. Well, there you have it, guys. Texas style ham steak, reverse seared. It's crispy skin on it. It is awesome. You can't beat that. That is good eating. It's one of the best things I've cooked. Well, in the new year, this is very good for a New Year's Day meal. A little recap of what we did on the fire management of it apart. We mixed red oak with some pecan. We ran 275 till it hit an internal temp of 135-ish, and then we pulled it, got it over to the other side, close to the firebox, got a wild fire going, put a sear on it, and then we crisp up our skin. And you can hear that. Well, that skin is where it's at. So, if y'all happen to be walking through your local HEB like I did, be sure to pick that up. Like I said, I don't see it very often down here. I'm sure you can get a butcher to cut you one. And I had to buy it, take it out of the package, and vacuum seal it and freeze it. But I'm glad I got it, man, because it is freaking delicious. Alright guys, if you liked the video, hit the thumbs up button. Please subscribe. And we'll be cooking something again here soon. And peace.